Dr. Brice Show, where we specialize in providing the listening audience with a unique blend of conversation, music, and most importantly, enjoyment. All right. And good morning, ladies and gentlemen. It has been a while since we've done a show. I'm doing a whole lot of other shows, but it's been a while since I've done this particular show. But I felt the need to do this. I was in my thoughts, kind of pondering. It's been a while. I was driving through. It's always a shortcut of trying to drive through so I can avoid traffic. And I happened to be driving by. And I see a sign because I'm very observant. And I see a sign and I see my old friend's little name on the sign. So I said, oh my goodness, what? This is what he's doing? Oh, I got to call him up and I got to see how I can try to help him in any way, shape or form possible. He's definitely been an influence to me when I was, running for school board. Definitely, especially at a particular point in time in that journey, I had to come over to the castle and get some information, some guidance, and it was very helpful. So, we're doing a special show. And ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to introduce to you Mr. Ervin Mears. How you doing, Mr. Mears?
I'm doing pretty good. And I want to first thank you for inviting me to be on your podcast. Mm-hmm. And it's an honor. And I like that introduction that you gave. I didn't know you care that much about me.
You're a good guy, man. You know what I mean? You really are a good guy, man. So yeah, just want to start getting into it now. Why don't you tell us just a little bit about yourself? I know a little bit just from working, with you 2 years ago and stuff like that. But why don't you tell us just a little bit about yourself?
All right. First of all, I'm a native from Philadelphia. I went to Simon Gratz High School. I went into the Air Force during the Vietnam conflict. I came out of the Air Force. I went to community college. Then I went to Temple and got my degree in engineering, electrical engineering. Okay. And I pursued my master's in finance.
Wow. Okay.
And then at that time, I was living in New Jersey.
Okay.
Longside, New Jersey.
Okay. And you've been a resident of Longside, New Jersey for how many years? 40 years. Wow. So you've seen the different changes, good, bad, or indifferent. You've seen the town kind of evolve, maybe regress, maybe evolve. So, first of all, just from that standpoint of watching continual growth or regression, how's that been for you?
Well, first of all, we have to understand why Longside was created. Longside was created so that after slavery, that the slaves would have a safe haven to raise their families, and that's why it once was called Safe Haven and once Snow Hill. So Longside was created for the benefit so that Black slaves could raise their families. So Longside basically should have been a community of residents.
I got you. Okay. And you know what? The fact that I did do some research in that it is one of the first African-American incorporated towns this side of the Mason-Dixon line, I believe. I could be wrong in that estimation, but there's a lot of different rich history that is from Longside, and what a wonderful honor for you to be able to have that privilege of living there. You still love your community, is that correct?
Yes, I've loved my community. I read a story. It's called The True Story of Longside. I've always liked Longside, but when I read the true story of Longside, I fell in love with Longside.
Wow, that's good. So I brought you here because, like I said, the sign that I saw, it wasn't a sign that said, hey, Ervin Mears is throwing a party and everybody's invited. You know what I'm saying? It was a sign saying that, hey, listen, you know what? Ervin Mears is running for mayor. I said, what? I said, yo, this was my thought said, I said, he'll be a fabulous mayor. The passion, the purpose that he has. And I said, you know what? I'm going to try to see if I can get him on. So now you're here. And thank you for definitely coming. But I definitely want to know what inside of you said, you know what? I want to pursue this endeavor. I want to be the mayor.
Well, about 3 years ago, about 8 or 9 residents alongside, we got together and we all had the same interest. We knew things weren't going what we thought that was a benefit for Longside's development. Mm-hmm. So we got this organization called Longside Homeowners / Community Organization. Mm-hmm. And we pursued to find out the things that we thought that the town could be better as far as developing the town. And we got together and we formed this organization. So from that point, I did a facts finder. They selected me to do a facts finder, finding facts that were going on in Longside and see if the facts, when we compared them to the findings, were they correct? And we found a lot of things that was said that was being done wasn't being done. For instance, we had a summer program one time, and the summer program was supposed to be for low, moderate income, and also little or nothing for the residents. And then we found out through the facts finder that they were charging anywhere from $65 to $75 a year, when the community block grant that they received was well over $142,000. So nobody should have to pay for anything in the program.
Right, I got you. And I think you were saying about that. So they would charge about $65 to $75 towards $80 a month for this summer program or for that session. I don't think that's fair, especially when you had a block grant that was purposed probably to pay for those things. So it's been some of the, I guess, some of your own vision of what you want to see for the town, that you've been there 40 years. So before we get into your vision, so to speak, has your vision evolved over those 40 years, meaning that you've seen Lawnside at its best at some point in time, and now you're trying to get it back that way? Like, what's driving you?
Well, there was administration once before, and the mayor that I know was Hilliard Moore. Now, there was another mayor that I knew that was alive, and his name was Mr. Rogers. Mm-hmm. And they had visions for Longside. There was a mayor in 1945, I think it was. I think he was still. But anyway, they wanted to develop or build a convention center that would hold 5,000 people.
Wow.
And it never came about. And the only real improvements that we've had in our town in the 40 years that I've been here, we have widened Charleston Avenue. We did Warwick Road. We built the community center. We had a little athletic field that was built. But any significant things, like we don't have a community facility all year round, recreation, so that we can have things like basketball, swimming, things for senior citizens in the evening, sure. Something that would go at least 6 days a week.
Right. So it's pretty much, it sounds like if I hear you saying it correctly, it's like you want to take a little bit of the old, as far as the traditional valued of family community living, and you want to bring some of the new, which is having, just different opportunities and access for youth to kind of enjoy themselves. Because unfortunately, sometimes in some areas, the youth don't have things to do. Is that fair to say? Yes.
And the good opportunity was that Longside was one of the few communities that had acres of land that was undeveloped. And I thought this was a good opportunity to have a developer come in and build us some kind of recreational complex that would be beneficial to the town, at the same time reducing the property tax in the town. But we got a development that came into town that offered nothing really that would be beneficial to the community as a whole or to our tax base. And one of the things when you bring in developments, ratables, that's one of the purpose of a ratable, to bring them in to reduce property tax to the residents. This hasn't happened.
Wait, are you saying that? Because I mean, I'll be honest. Like sometimes I'll cut through, and I've seen these buildings up. I've seen definitely over there by the UPS. Actually, they got apartments up now, right? So I seen all these different growth, and I'm like, wow, Lawnside starting to blow up a little bit. And I'm like, wow, they're gonna, that's going to be good for that town. You know what I'm saying? Just that community. Are you saying that this is not a two-way deal? It seems like the only one that's benefiting is the developers. Is that what you're saying maybe? Or
you're absolutely right. One thing when you go to a school and you take business courses,
sure,
they always tell you that when a developer comes into the town, it's a two-way street.
Two-way street.
The developer wants something and the town wants something.
Right. Both
parties should benefit. The development that you're talking about, where the apartments are, there are five buildings over there. Mm-hmm. The developer said he paid $26 million to create it. Less than 2 years, they sold it for $30 million, which is a $4 million profit, which Lawnside never benefited economically from the $4 million profit that they got of it. And along with that, is they have an abatement that our mayor signed, Miss Marianne Waterloo, and council, not just her alone, and council agreed to give them a 30-year abatement. All right. The abatement means that they will pay no taxes. In lieu of paying taxes, they have this legal thing called service charge. Service charge definition of service charge is normally a percentage of gross revenue. In this case, they picked a 10% gross revenue. That development brings in about roughly $3 million in income based on their documents. Mm. All right. So if you take 10% of their gross revenue, say $3 million, it's actually $2,995,000. Sure. 10% would be around $295,000. We would get that for 30 years, providing that the gross revenue didn't drop. If the gross revenue dropped, then a service charge would drop. Now, on the other hand, if we charge them at true market, the word they use is conventional real property tax, like every homeowner pays in the state of New Jersey, right? We would gain at least at our tax rate at $4.42. Multiply that times the total amount of money that they're making based on hundreds, right? It would come out to be $1,149,000. Now, I would rather have the $1,149,000 versus the $295,000.
Right, absolutely. So I mean, I don't know. I mean, let me ask you a question. When these things are being, I guess, driven or being brought about, one of the things, I mean, particularly in my scope of positions, it's all about transparency, right? Do you feel like the current Lawnside government and regime has been transparent with the residents?
I won't say that they have been transparent. What I'll give you is an example. It took me 19 months to get some documents. I had to not only go to the district court, I left the district court because they didn't grant us the right to look at how our tax dollars were being spent. So we appealed it to the appellate division of the state of New Jersey.
Wait, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you. Who didn't? I mean, because it's an open request, so I'm confused. Who didn't grant that?
Well, when I filled out the Oak request, they gave me, I don't know, 20-some pages, 12 pages, something like that.
Right.
And it was redacted. All was on there was the attorney's name and the date. You couldn't see what the money was being spent. And we talk about tens of thousands of dollars.
Wow.
So I went to we appealed, and when we went to the appellate, the 3-judge panel said that one of the most important things they said in the decision was that to have confidence from the citizens in the state of New Jersey, they needed to have the transparency.
That's right.
Government was spending their money. We have the right to know
how they're spending our money. That's right, because you're paying it. So I'm all about transparency. So are you saying that? So, so was this 30-year abatement sounds like tax break, or just another maneuver or scheme? I don't want to be judgmental, but was this discussed with the residents prior to Lawnside as a community agreeing to it?
Well, my understanding of some of the meetings that I went to is that once the statement the mayor made is that they hadn't given any tax abatement. But when we were able to secure the records through an OCA request, we found out that the mayor and council had granted them the tax abatement in 2019, the 2019, in the year 2019. Let me take a quick look and see.
Okay.
December 1, 2021. So they had granted it, but recently, within the last maybe month or so, or 2 months, the mayor put out a flyer about their town hall meetings, and one of the items on the back of the town hall meeting was that the mayor said she gave no tax abatement. And I was able to secure a document that shows all the financial agreements and for tax abatement. She wasn't truthful with the residents of Lawnside.
Wow. And see, that's the thing that I think, and particularly not just community, but not even just small towns, but just any town, those residents depend on the leadership to be honest, truthful, and transparent to what's best for them. And which is the residents, not just necessarily what's best for them as far as whether their growth or whatever they might have planned. And it sounds like, for me, just knowing you for the last couple of years and all the work that I know of speaking with you, you've been all about the community. You've been all about the town. You've been all about community and the betterment of Lawnside. I haven't seen any type of flyers, any type of brochures, any type of conversation, or even people that I've come in contact with that know you speak in high regard of you as far as your character as it relates to wanting the best for residents. And ultimately, and this is what I want to say to the Lawnside voter, but to all voters, you need to vote for the person who's going to be best for the community and is going to be having your needs, wants, desires at the forefront. That's where the vote needs to be. So with that being said, tell me, what do you plan how do you plan to adjust? How do you plan to, because what's signed is signed, right? So how do we move forward with this tax abatement? What do you plan to what's your plan in trying to overcome some things?
All right. First of all, I want to let you know that I've been an advocate for Lawnside for at least 30 years, fighting. Some people don't necessarily like my approach, but I come in with the facts and the evidence.
That's it.
As far as some of the things that I would like to see done,
right? As
far as that agreement, I read the agreement. One thing I learned in school and a law class, and my teacher said, in every transaction, there's a little fraud. Mm. The other thing he said, in every transaction, there's a loophole. Mm. And there is a loophole in that agreement that we can go back to the bargaining table.
Okay.
We can sit down with the developer's attorney, as is stated in the ordinance, and see if we can work out something that's more favorable to the residents of the town.
Well, see that's great to hear. And I hope the Lawnside community is really listening once this is shared and published, that, even though we're in you're in the situation, there's a chance to get up out of it. What are some other things that you can do for the residents of Lawnside?
Well, one of the things I would like to do, I'd like to at least once or twice a month open up the mayor's office so that citizens can come in and meet face to face with the mayor and tell them their issues, what bothers them, and feel as though that they have a part in how the town is being governed. I want to be a mayor that's a partner with the residents. I don't want to make all the decisions by myself or even with my council. I want input from the community, because what we may want, they may not want.
Right, absolutely.
Or what we think is good for us may not be so good for them.
I got you. What else?
I would like to provide transportation for senior citizens, so that the senior citizens and disabled people, so that they can go shopping to ShopRite, Walmart, those things that are close to us.
Absolutely.
I'd like to also provide all year round recreation for seniors, youth, and young people. I would like to maintain an oversight focusing on tax liens of residents' property. We have a problem with people losing their houses because they don't pay their taxes, and we should find some way of finding out, can we help them if they're not going to pay the taxes? Don't let it go into a lien. If it goes into a lien, you do better doing a short sale and getting some money out of the tax problem, instead of letting the investor come in and take your house for $30,000 when it's worth $200,000.
Right. Wow. And that's something else. So you got residents. If I hear you say, and I'm gonna let you finish reading that, but you got residents losing their houses for lack of paying taxes because of their financial, concerns or whatever the case may be. Yet we're giving out tax abatements and breaks to big businesses. So it's caring about the big business more than the residents. That doesn't seem fair. But go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
You're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. I'd like to also help support the 4th of July committee. I would like to also help the Historical Society, the other. We have a lot of nonprofit organizations that do good things alongside, and they get no support from the government. And talking about that, in December 2019, the freeholders had a meeting in alongside, and at that meeting, they made a statement that when they go from town to town, they like to make little small donations to worthy nonprofit 4013 nonprofit organizations.
Yeah, 501c3.
501c3.
Yeah,
I say full.
That's all right.
I'm talking about your retirement program.
It's all good. It's all good.
And they came alongside, had the meeting, and the thing that I picked out was the idea that they said worthy 503 nonprofit. And what they went on to say, then they asked for Brittany Wardlow to come up and receive this donation that was going to be donated to an organization, a nonprofit organization, which is called Earl Pearl. And Earl Pearl happens to be an organization that was started, or a nonprofit that was started after the mayor's husband had passed away. No disrespect to him passing away, but the idea was that they gave the donation to the mayor's organization, and I didn't think that was right. I'm pretty sure there was some other worthy nonprofit organizations. Maybe they should have split the money up and gave it a little to each nonprofit organization.
And see, that's the thing. And that's the thing that I think, and I'm gonna let you finish, articulating your points, but I think that's what separates you from others. And I'm not saying that I don't want to judge this current mayor, because I don't know her. I don't know anything about her. But I will say, see, when I see maneuvers like that, that's somebody that is in a position so that they can gain something. It's almost self-grandizing, self-grandiose, purposes. Something like that should be distributed to residents in the community that have nonprofits to help their nonprofit grow. Not for you to say, well, I'm in this position, so I want my family to be better. So let me somehow, convincingly, have the water and the well run to my family and my family only. I don't think that's right. And I don't think that's your character. I know that's not your character. So go ahead. You can finish, though.
What I would like to also say, we have something called Longside 4th of July Committee Incorporated, and they've been around for a long time. And one of the officers came to me and said, Mr. Mears, we know we're not having the parade, and ShopRite will give us the money for the fireworks that they have done in the past.
Right.
But we need money for the children's activity. And I said, well, why don't you ask the mayor and council to give you some money? There's normally money in the budget for recreation. They said that the only thing that the town was going to give them was to pay for the spotter pots.
Wait, I'm sorry. For the what?
Spotter pots, bathrooms.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So let me read what they said in a letter, the negotiation letter. We appreciate your support and thank you in advance for your anticipation. We would also like to thank ShopRite for providing the fireworks display over the years, and Mr. Mears for his generous donation to help offset the cost of the children's activity for the day.
Right. See, and I'm saying that. See, now you understand why I wanted you to come and express to the people need to see your heart. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's important to not just all residents of Longside, but just to all residents and people that do business with that, Longside, that, this individual right here, I'll say this young man right here, he has a heart, and he's got a heart for the people. And that's what matters. You want someone that has not just the knowledge and the skill set, but to match it with the heart. And that makes him a perfect candidate for mayor. But go ahead, continue to.
Another thing I would like to explore and develop an aggressive partnership with local industry.
Okay.
To provide all year round internships for our middle school students, for our high school students, and our college students.
And that's critical, because those are the future. The children are the future. And you know what? Something tells me, and I don't know for a fact, but I just know I'm in education, so I kind of know that Longside School feeds into that Haddon High School district. So I'm not sure how much representation that those Longside students get within that school district. I'm not sure if you probably get one seat, right? You get one seat at the school board.
I'm pretty sure that's all they get is one seat.
Yeah, so that's a tough thing. So we definitely need to have the empowerment and the skills and any gaps that's happening. Those needs to be kind of solidified before they get matriculated onto that level. You know what I mean? But go ahead, continue to go, Mr. Mayor.
I'd like to pass some social services to make sure that our senior citizens have food, adequate heat in the winter, and cooling in the summer, along with health care. That's basically it.
Okay. Well, I'm sure. No, actually, I don't even think that's it. I'm sure there's a lot more, but there's things that you're going to know once you get in there, because it sounds like they've tried to deny you access to find out all the different misgivings that have possibly happened, right? So the time is now. I mean, that's kind of where I'm at with it, anything else you want to say to the residents of Longside?
Yes, I would like to say the primary is June the 7th. The primary will determine who will be the mayor for the next 4 years and Longside. There is no Republican Party, so there's no opposition. So the primary will determine the mayor, not the November election.
Right. So if you hear that correctly, let me just articulate that again. You have to get out and vote for Mears on June 7th. Okay. Again, the primary is June 7th, and that's when we need your voices to be heard. Look, we've learned through just this past week, and even maybe earlier this month, right? The month of May has taught us that, you know what? Sometimes things just continue to remain the same. You got the mass shooting going on. You had the supermarket situation in Buffalo. These things, unfortunate as they are, we need to start being more proactive than reactive. Okay. And what I'm saying to you residents now, you have an opportunity. See, I listen. Now, I'm very versed into different things, but I know the residents of Longside have a problem with this tax abatement. I know that the residents of Longside have had a problem with the current administration. I also know the residents of Longside feel that their town is full of just genuineness, just richness, just all this history, but yet is not being displayed or not also being treated right by this current administration. You have an opportunity right here on June 7th to change that narrative. You have an opportunity to help join, and work in collaboration with this young man, okay, starting June 7th. He's saying, hey, listen, you know what? I'll be your mayor, but you guys are my team. That's basically what he's saying. He needs his team. So make sure that you go out there and vote for him on June 7th. Anything else, Mr. Mears?
Yes, I'd like to use the lyrics from a song by the Blue Notes that says, things won't get no better if you just let them be. Now, if you want things to be better and alongside, you want to see a change come, then you have to make the change.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And make that change and get on down there June 7th. And is that all day up until what, 8 o'clock?
Yes.
Okay. And what time the polls open? 6?
6 o'clock in the morning.
6 o'clock in the morning. Polls open. And they close at 8 p.m. Okay. And all you have to do is get in there, get your sticker. I think they might have some water. Go in there and press the lever down for Mears.
Column 3. Column 3.
Column 3.
Column 3.
Column 3. Column 3. Column 3. So, just, for any information, now if they want to, anybody want to reach out to you with any further questions or concerns, how can they get in contact with you?
They can call me at 856-547-2620, or they can reach me on Facebook at Mears for Mayor 2022. They can also find me on Facebook. I get Facebook. Yeah, we have 2 Facebook pages. The other one is Facebook page is Philly Intruders email, right? Okay. Philly Intruders at yahoo.com.
Got you. So listen, you have these different platforms. You heard it first, Mears for Mayor 2022. On Facebook, you have his phone number. Not many candidates or, will have that open access, but he is saying that he wants the transparency. He wants to be able to work in collaboration with you, the voters. This is y'all town. It's his town. It's y'all town. It's the group town. Let's continue to work with him. Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, let's give it up for Mr. Ervin Mears. Well, Mr. Mears, it's always a pleasure. Always a pleasure. I enjoy my conversations with you. I enjoy laughing with you. You got a good heart. I wish you nothing but success in everything that you do.
And I want to thank you for inviting me.
My pleasure.
And, I just want you to know personally that I think highly of you. I'm glad that you're a school board in Voorhees. And if there's anything that I can help you with, research or whatever that you might need, and I'm proud of you. And he's the boy from New York City.
My man. Appreciate you. All right, ladies and gentlemen, listen, stay tuned for our next show coming up soon. We got a couple of interviews that we're going to be doing too, bringing you some wonderful guests and running our summer series. So talk to you soon. On behalf of the Dr. Brice Show, we thank Mr. Ervin Mears, and we wish nothing but luck. And we'll be out there promoting you to make sure that you do get that victory.
Column 3.
June 7th. Column 3, vote for Mears.